My name is Angel Anita Bakir. My father is Donald Bakir. In addition to being an English teacher, for more than 30 years he has been a poet. He loves to perform his poetry in front of jazz bands. He will give a command performance for anyone who can appreciate his brand of political and social commentary. We have salvaged some vintage clips of his media exploits that span more than 20 years. I hope you will enjoy this video. Thank you for joining us this evening in celebrating my father, Donald Bakir.
Nobody knows my name, but everybody knows from whose loins I sprang. Birds of Eden sang. Nobody knows my name, but everyone sings my song. Blues is a river, stormy weather, a flashback. And nobody knows my name. But I am on the front pages of history. First in war, first in peace. Writing always a new blues, a new world history. A two-bass hit, Blue Monk, and around about midnight, I continue to sing, but nobody knows my name. But I'm a sundowner who continues to dream.
Thank you very much. It gives me great pleasure now to introduce one of the builders in the black community, a young man who's one of the founders of the International Black Writers and Artists, a teacher, a scholar, and a father, and a personal friend. He's going to present a couple poems that really epitomizes the concept of soul visions. I present to you now the great Mr. Donald Bakir.
East side, west side, Watson, South Central, Inglewood, Hollywood, Crenshaw, and the jungle. LA's a place. LA's 30 million black, brown, white, and yellow toes. Tippy tap tapping on top of paved over desert. LA's the Olympics, the Lakers, and oh Lord, the Latinos, leaping us into the 21st century. East side, west side, Watson, South Central, Inglewood, Hollywood, Crenshaw, and the jungle. LA's the place.
I understand that you've written a novel about the inner city gangs.
I teach high school and junior high school, and over the last 10 years, I've interacted with a lot of youngsters, and many of whom have become Crips. So I'm something of a Crip expert. About 4 years ago, I put pen in hand, and I started to try to write a historical novel about the Crips. And there was so much information, and it was so revelatory to me that I just, every time I sat down, the pages would just come. And it wasn't like I was writing the book was writing me. Hopefully it is an antidote to kid cancer.
Have you shared this with the youngsters at school and tried to feel what kind of impact this book would have on these youngsters?
Many of the youngsters helped me write the book. I had
Fantastic.
over hundreds of interviews, some on camera, some not, because I teach television production at Manual Arts High School. I gave it to certain youngsters to read and do book reports on. I constantly checked so that the information would be legitimate, up to date. I don't know what the impact will be. What I wanted was for this, as all good art, I wanted this to have an effect upon the social behavior. And the social behavior I most wanted to change was the epidemic of killing and murder in South Central LA. I do believe that more attention to this on the part of artists, on the part of systems, individuals, will impact, and that we'll go from 400 murders a year to maybe none.
That's great. I hope that your novel does make that kind of impact. We need that. Tell me this, what other moves will you be making with this procedure of having it copywritten, and are you now getting ready to publish it, or?
Yes, my lawyer is weighing offers from big publishers. But this being Los Angeles and a movie and television town, I've cultivated some offers from the movies, and I'm presently writing a screenplay for the novel Crips. That is a new genre for me, but the book was written from a visual perspective, and hopefully within a year or so there will be a screenplay or movie called Crips.
Well, that's great, Don. We're glad that you were on the program. We're able to interview you, hear about this fabulous book that you've done, and we're hoping that we'll see this movie next year.
Calling all break-in, pop-locking, crip-walking, Crips. Come in, Crips, come in, Crips. There's God inside of you. And he's calling you too. Calling all Crips, calling all Crips. Be what's for centuries been trapped inside of you. Be governor, captain, neighborhood star. But you must learn to love peace and hate war. Calling all Crips, calling all Crips. Going to jail does not prove your bravery. Jail, just 20th century slavery.
Crips basically are oops babies. They were babies who were born after abortion became legal, okay? After the pill became available to everyone. And so now these babies were born with like, oops, I should have taken my pill. Oops, I waited too long to have an abortion. So they were basically raised no hands-on. So when they were raised, they became a class unto themselves, and they made up their own ethics as they went along. This did not include religion. Okay, it did not include religion. And for the first time, we have a substantial group of young blacks who do not have a religious base. That void is there. They need that attention. In school, they'll take bad attention just as well as good attention. So many of them are into policemen because the police give them attention. They talk about, yeah, man, you know, Corporal so-and-so, he sure is bad, cuz. Because they know these guys, and these are only males in their lives that are giving them attention. They want attention. And no, there are no movements to resolve the gang situation on Hoover. There are 12,000 Crips on Hoover, on one street, 12,000 Crips. There's no church, united church effort to overcome the gang situation on Hoover.
School teacher, can you look a 14, 15, 16-year-old gang member in the face right now and say to him that if he stops gang banging, you can assure him that his life is going to be rewarding and fulfilled? He's going to just be a recognized member of society?
No, not the way the society is structured now.
So that ties your hand.
Yeah, because there are too many systems that are making money off of gang members, okay? The criminal justice system is making money off of gang members. The police system is making money off of gang members. But what we have to do is because basically these kids are illegitimate kids. They're born so-called quote-unquote illegitimate. Their focus on sustaining themselves and fulfilling themselves is basically illegitimate. But what we have to be able to give them a gospel of is we the community need you. We the society want you. We, your neighborhood, your family, your friends love you. You are greater than that.
Okay.
You are greater than that. You can be a neighborhood star. You're going to have to give him a religious, okay, you're going to have to give him a religious belief that is strong enough to sustain him when he's threatened, okay, and when he has to come to grip with his environment.
And when he also has to work at minimum wage instead of being able to turn a dope deal and make $300 in a lick.
No, now he doesn't have to work minimum wage. Yeah, what I'm saying is he may be able to start his own business. Let's stop focusing on him having to have a job all the time, okay? Because as long as he's at the behest of the society, as long as he's, you know, waiting for patronage from the society, society is fickle, and that traditionally he's going to have something deeper in his gut that's going to sustain him and help him to overcome that.
So it's on him, we're saying.
It's basically on him.
Teacher adjusted his lesson plans accordingly.
Donald Bakir's home life may be pretty typical, but once he gets to work, it's anything but. Bakir is a high school English teacher in the most violent gang in Los Angeles, and that infestation includes his classroom.
Those kind of kids are caught up in such a habitual behavior that into some serious forms of violence.
Bakir figures about 30% of his classes are made up of gang members. So how does he deal with it?
I got 3 new Crips in today, and I know that whether it's voiced or unvoiced, I know they're going to have an effect on every student in that class. So I have to meet it. You know, I got to deal with that, and so I changed the plan. You had the potential for greatness.
Bakir intertwines civic lessons with lessons about good old common sense, and he acknowledges the reality of the situation as he deals with gang members in his class.
Pop lock used to be the Crip dance, okay? I'm serious now. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know.
Crips are gang members, and this Crip uses gang symbols in his lessons in an effort to intimidate Bakir.
He was expecting me to give him a lecture and tell him how he shouldn't be doing that and threaten him with sending him to the dean's office and, you know, starting the process of getting him out.
But instead, Bakir intimidated the youngster by reading what he had written.
This summer, more attention has been focused on the gang problem than ever before.
There were massive police sweeps resulting in the arrest of thousands of gang members. Gang leaders met face-to-face in an effort to work out some kind of truce. And hundreds of people, including Bakir, have been doing all they can, not so much to stop the gangs, but to stop the violence associated with them. But has it done any good?
That's all people can do is Crip.
He said it all.
Game ain't gonna ever end.
Sure won't.
It'll never end.
Maybe so, but Bakir says his efforts in the classroom to stop the violence won't end either. Greg Lamont, CNN, Los Angeles.